A lot of people use the Filbert brush as just almost their only brush. They're kind of all-purpose brush. But when you unlock it, you discover some unique things that a Filbert can do. Well, if you don't know what a Filbert is, it's simply a brush that has sort of a rounded shape, and it's called a Filbert because of its shape resembles the Filbert nut. And so we have Filberts that come in all sizes. We have them that come in the bristle brush, and also the various soft brushes. So some people do use the Filbert almost exclusively because it's a wonderful brush for pushing paint around and controlling directions and so on. But there's some other things it can do too. So let's kind of unlock the Filbert's potential, and let's begin. Now, again, I won't take time to do a painting, as these quick tips are too short for that. But let's just we'll just do some brush strokes to kind of show you what the Filbert will do. Now, one thing that the Filbert is really good for is by working on its tip, because of the way its tip is shaped. Like this, I'll put color on it so you can see it a little bit better. You can always tell when the brush is loaded more about its shape. So you see there, when you look head on at the belly of the brush, you see that nice rounded tip. You turn it and you can see how sharp that tip can get. We pull a little bit more paint. The way you get the way you get that tip sharper is by loading the brush with a good bit of paint, like I'm doing here, and then pull the brush against the palette just very gently like that, and now you can see how sharp that tip is. Well, we can use that. For example, if you're doing flower petals or leaves or subject matter images that require kind of a rounded tip, rather than just outline those and fill it in with color, allow the Filbert brush to shape it for you. For example, you could shape a flower. Well, let's just do a kind of a daisy shape. That's kind of an orange daisy. You see what I'm doing there? I'm pushing the brush and pulling it. It's pushing it and pulling it towards the center of the flower, like that. And just take a little bit of whatever the center of flower center of color is, just kind of pop it right in the middle with the Filbert, and because of the shape of the Filbert, that's all that would be required. And you can do variations on that and find, you know, your own ways of shaping flowers. But let me show you something else that you can do with the Filbert, and that is foliage. Now, you can use the Filbert. Let's start back in. Well, let's see. Let's start over here. We won't relate it to the flower. You can use it by, first of all, pulling the paint to the tip, like you saw me doing here, shaping the tip with the paint, like you saw me doing here, and then you can hold the Filbert back towards the end of its handle like this, and you give it kind of a sharp push against the canvas and let it come up gently, and you can see you can get a taper. You can get it tapered from however wide the brush is when you push it down like that to, if you go very gradually, you can get a gradual taper. You see that goes right over to the end. So that can give you lots of opportunity for a little grass foliage. So you can do fast, like this, fast movements, or fast motions where you push the Filbert to the canvas and then give it a firm release, like that. And by varying the value then of the foliage, grasses, whatever, you see you can make quickly, by allowing the brush to shape for you, a nice little pile, a nice little section of grasses. Another thing that you can do is in the leaf formations. The Filbert is wonderful for forming, especially the leaves that we see that have the round or rounded edges. So don't take this as a formula, but take it as a potential for what the Filbert can do for you, and explore with it. But here's the way that would work. If you have a leaf, Oh, let's just we might just draw a general shape for a leaf like this, and say stem went out like that, and you say the vein of the leaf would come down like that. That's just sort of to show you the shape I'll be dealing with. Then you can load the filbert, and looking of course at the way the light shines on the leaf, you can load it, or you can even double load it, and you push against the edge of that and allow the stroke to come down along the vein and headed towards the origin of the leaf here. Then you come to the next place and you do the same thing, the next place, and you do the same thing, the next place, and you do the same thing. See, sort of like that. And then you can go on the other side, and you know, if you vary your values, you'll get a more exciting leaf. But always allow the filbert to push on the edge like that, and then you kind of turn and you head towards the vein in the direction of the origin of the leaf. And so you see how that would work then as you go down the leaf like this. You see it begins to feel like what we know to be the natural formation of a leaf. Sometimes you come down the center like that, and I didn't mean to do that twice. That's not a good idea. But you see what I'm talking about. You can also, if it has a tip on it, you can do that. So you see, the filbert has the ability to do lots of different things that help you shape your images. So all you need to do is to just practice with it for a while and see what its potential is. And you can practice making wide flowers that have wider petals. We'll say that right in a minute. Flowers that might have wider petals, you see, just by pushing the brush and pulling it towards the center of the flower like that. And of course then take the, there we go. So explore this potential of the brush, maybe whatever kind of flower or leaf or piece of nature you might be looking at, and see if you don't find that you can unlock a lot more of the potential of the filbert. And there's your quick tip.